quiet and orderly. Matthew Continetti is editor of the Washington Free Beacon, and Caitlin Huey-Burns is national political reporter for Real Clear Politics, and they both join us now. Thank you for joining us, first of all.
Thank you.
All right, so Caitlin, I'll start with you, and something that we have just learned, that Bernie Sanders, his campaign, has requested a recount in Kentucky. That is where he trails Clinton by just 1%. That means all the precincts, all 120 counties there. He wants them recounted. So not only is he not going away, he's definitely not going away quietly.
Right, exactly. And that's problematic for the Clinton campaign, who really, for understandable reasons, wants to wrap up this contest to be able to fully focus on taking on Donald Trump. She's had to wage really a two-pronged campaign, one against Sanders and one against Trump. And we're seeing in polling right now that the contest between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump is at a dead heat. He's overtaken her for the first time in the Real Clear Politics polling average. And when you're looking at the Democratic side, and the pressure to really unite the party, which is possible, Clinton will need Sanders to really come on enthusiastically for her. We're seeing in polling, a recent poll by the NBC Wall Street Journal poll showed that while Sanders supporters are likely to back Clinton, they're not as enthusiastic as Clinton supporters are or favorable to are for Bernie Sanders. Having said all of that, looking at that poll that shows those polls that show Donald Trump leading, he has coalesced the Republican Party very quickly after a very competitive and divisive primary, and so Democrats could take heed from that and hope for the same.
And those polls that you're looking at, those same polls, Matthew, they do show Sanders leading Trump, unlike Clinton, so he does have that going for him. But what about coalescing or having the Democratic Party unify?
I think it's going to be pretty hard. You know, the Clintons have already given about half of the platform committee seats to Sanders, and he's starting to fill them with people like Cornel West and Keith Ellison, the congressman from Minnesota. But I don't think that's going to be enough for Bernie Sanders, because I don't think he has the Clinton campaign's nor actually the Democratic Party's interests in mind. Remember, this is a guy who calls himself a democratic socialist. He's an independent. And it's basically like Ralph Nader ran inside the party in 2000. What would that have looked like if you have a character who's winning states and getting a huge financial support, but he's not beholden to any of the party interests? And so I think Hillary Clinton is going to have to do a lot more if she wants Bernie Sanders to support her. And even then, it's not clear that he will in the end.
Yeah, and Matthew, I found your article interesting. I think it's your most recent article where you said that this Democratic civil war is just another civil war where Obama doesn't want to intervene. That's a good point.
Well, it's funny. I mean, if there's one person who I think could really try to bring the Democratic primary to a close, it's Barack Obama. He has decided to stay out of it, even though we all basically know he's for Hillary Clinton. The question is, why? And I think he's probably thinking about the Democratic civil war in the same way that he thinks about, say, civil war in Syria. He thinks that getting involved would produce blowback against him and elsewhere. And so for that reason, he's staying out. I do wonder, though. I mean, the fact is, as you pointed out, the Republicans are coming behind Trump, but I don't see how the Bernie Sanders people are going to go behind Hillary Clinton, who is basically a figure of Wall Street in their eyes, before November.
All right. Well, Caitlin and Matthew, thank you for joining us. We will see what happens if, in fact, it is a mess or not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.